Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. Personal accountability is a foreign concept in Hollywood, and none do it any better than Disney. This article from Hollywood in Toto. Disney exec blames woes on racist and sexist fans. Newsletter reveals corporate arrogance behind House of Mouse's fall. Mouse House's fall. I do know how to read, ladies and gentlemen. Racist and sexist fans, because there are just, can you imagine believing there are that many actual legitimate racist and sexist and misogynist and incel, whatever buzzword you want to call, to insult and try to ignore the criticism coming at all these movies? There are that many people like this that would tank the box office. Can't have anything possible to do with just bad storytelling, bad writing, bad characters, boring planks of wood. Can't have anything to do with that whatsoever. Stock woes, box office flops, theme park struggles, beloved brands struggling for relevancy after years of cultural dominance. And that is definitely a shame. Disney, Pixar, Lucasfilm, there was a cultural dominance coming from this studio. Sure, they buy up things left and right to try to put out something new. They bought the golden egg. They bought the golden goose that was Star Wars, and instead of letting it lay golden eggs, they cooked it for Thanksgiving dinner. That's the unfortunate part. There was a time where you would see the word Disney Studios, Marvel Studios, Pixar, LucasArts, Lucasfilm, whatever, and you knew what to expect in the product. But now, I mean, I guess you do know what to expect nowadays, but it's the exact opposite end of the spectrum. Instead of gold, family-oriented story, great storytelling, interesting characters, now you can expect, well, garbage. Cottage industry of alternative media outlets documenting Disney's decline. Yes, we all know. If you've been on the internet for half a second and looked up any sort of Disney controversy, you'll see names like Nerdrotic, Critical Drinker, Quartering, Film Threat, Go Chris Score, I'm a fan. What went wrong? Company's hard left turn, for starters. Yeah, that can be seen that way. They got into politics, and with Governor Ron DeSantis in Florida, you go ahead and form your own opinion on that. But being a family-oriented studio, theme parks and everything, and you decide to get into politics, I'm sure that had an effect on a lot of people's opinion of your product and of your studio and of your theme parks, and people started turning away. Because the last thing I want when I go into a movie theater is to see anything about politics. I don't want to be preached, and I'm not going to allow my children to be preached to as well. I simply wish to be entertained. The company may not be listening to fans, all but shouting for the Mouse House to course correct and fast. And that's really all we hope for. There are some people out there who unironically want the House of Mouse to burn to the ground, start over from scratch. But personally, although I do not believe it's going to happen, I would genuinely love to see Disney get back to its former glory. Get the ideological nonsense out of your stories. At least put the story first, put the characters first. But let's get back to this. We just want entertainment, family entertainment. Executive blamed consumers. Let's see. Apparently, someone goes by Sonny Bunch. Here we go. Bulwark culture editor Sonny Bunch shared a snippet from a recent Puck newsletter suggesting Team Disney isn't about to change its ways. So here's what we got. I love this. From Matt Maloney's newsletter, Disney cannot fail. It can only be failed by the mouth-breathing bigots who refuse to acknowledge the greatness of their films. I would not be putting greatness in Disney films together in the same sentence. But here's the quote. I tried reading this, and it's really small. So what do we got? Light feedback this holiday week. Let's just go on to the quote. Everyone says it's the movie, stupid, which is an easy thing for people to say. More appealing movies are a great way to jump the political issues. But more and more, our audience or the segment of the audience that has been politicized, the only thing that's been politicized, the only people doing the politicization is you, Disney, is you, the executives, you, the studios, the actors and actresses. We're not trying, the fans, the critics, no, I'm not trying to politicize any of this nonsense. I just want it to be entertaining. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I don't care what your religious or political beliefs are. I don't care who you sleep with. I just want to be entertained. To sit there and be accused that it's the audience, a segment of the audience that is politicizing anything? You started it. We're following. I don't know what else to say. More and more our audience, or the segment of the audience that has been politicized, equate the perceived messaging of the film as a quality issue. Yes, because if you're putting the perceived message, or if you're putting the message before the story, then yes, quality is going to suffer. But this little quote gets better. They won't say they find female empowerment distasteful in the Marvels or Star Wars, the latest trilogy starring Daisy Ridley. That's because we don't find it distasteful. We do not find female empowerment distasteful. Princess Leia was a beloved character. When you want to talk about the Marvels, okay, so cool. You bring up Marvel. You bring up, Scarlet Witch. She was an enjoyable character before the TV series ruined her. What about Black Widow? An absolutely wonderful character, with or without her wardrobe assets. People loved these characters, and it has nothing to do with them being male or female. They were well-written, well-performed characters. But you want to sit there and try to accuse people of how finding female empowerment distasteful? Well, that's a bold-faced lie, and you know it. Pushing your agenda on other people are getting tired of it. They will say they don't like those movies because they are bad. Because they're bad. So make better movies becomes code for make movies that conform to regressive gender stereotypes or put men front and center in the narrative. So here's the thing, and I can really only speak for myself, but I'm pretty sure this goes across the board. We don't use code. I don't use code. I'm not smart enough to use code. If you've seen most of my videos and listened to me ramble on for one thing after another, first of all, I have a tendency to ramble and go off on tangents. So I'm definitely not smart enough to put code into any sort of script or any sort of speech. That takes effort. That takes time. No, I want to talk about it. I want to say what's on my mind, get my message across without, of course, without sounding like an easy, breathy stalker caller. Anyway, hopefully that's fixed. To think that, make better movies is code for make movies the way I want to, it's like, no. If a channel like mine, if someone sits out there and says, make better movies, what we mean by that is make better movies. That's it. Full stop. The end. Do whatever you want, put whatever characters you want in it, but make the characters interesting. Make the story organic. Make the world believable in the setting that you create. And maybe, just maybe, if you worked on that more than checking boxes, if you worked on that more than pushing your own personal political ideologies, you might get a higher box office than movies like Wish, or The Marvels, or Haunted Mansion got. It's an interesting concept. Survey says it's complicated. Puck Produced Brand survey offered mixed results for Disney. On one hand, Disney Incorporated is suffering for its political leanings. That's because people aren't interested in political nonsense in their entertainment. More and more people are turning away from the politicization of their entertainment. They just want to be entertained. Day after day, one product after another product after another product that is being put out by Disney or Warner Brothers or Apple or whatever publishing company, whatever studio is putting it out. When one product after another comes out and the story is bad and the message is heavy-handed, on the nose, beating you over the head with a sledgehammer, more and more people will turn away. They will go find something else to watch. They will go and track down the older classic movies like Lilo and Stitch. I managed to pick that up. I'm so very happy about it. I'll be picking up Brave soon as well. Far more entertaining than most of the nonsense coming out, especially from Disney. They're turning to older products, classic products. They're turning to more independent products, fan-made, content creator-made. They're turning away from the big-name studios because, after a while, when Disney continuously puts out trash, people will start to expect trash, and they'll wait for someone else to go and spend their hard-earned money and give them an idea of what it's like. And if they keep hearing it's just poorly written, like Madam Web or The Marvels, poorly paced, nonsensical story, then they're just going to keep turning off the TVs, canceling their subscriptions, and moving on to find something else to be entertained by. But if all you're going to do is make statements like this, don't come see our film. Oh, come see our films, Mr. and Mrs. Racist. If all you're going to do is sit there and insult the fans and call any sort of criticism rooted in racism, sexism, misogyny, or anything like that, more and more normies who don't pay attention to the behind-the-scenes garbage are going to turn away as well. Because they're not blind. It just takes them a little while to genuinely open their eyes and see what's in front of them. So Disney execs, Warner Brothers, Lucasfilm, all of you, continue to blame your failures on the fans. Call them whatever you want to, but you're blaming your failures on the fans instead of yourselves. And you will continue to fail. And I'm here to roast marshmallows over the burning corpse of your studio. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. Are you looking forward to anything coming out of Disney this year? Do you think all the fans are the racists and sexists? Anyway, hope to see you on the next one. Let me know what you think in the comments. Have a good one.